Sweet delay.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom in the trees, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Joe Builds a Ben on the Airfix 148 scale Curtis P40B Warhawk. As you saw in the last video, we got our cockpit together, got it detailed out and put it together, and then now we have put it into the fuselage along with the air intakes and all that. And we test fitted it a few times as we were gluing it in, as you should do. And you should probably put it together correctly, not look at the camera as you're doing stuff. But it should go together. We'll manipulate it a little bit. These little pieces right here are going to be cut out. And then we can manipulate the front end a little bit better. But as you can see, it'll go together well. It just has to be lined up and everything. So that's good. Then we're gonna work to get the wing roots on, and so we'll get this sealed up, get the wing roots on, and then we will move on from there. So let's go into a time lapse. Alright everyone, so I wanted to take a second here because I'm gluing the back together. It obviously needs to be held as I move towards the front. And normally what I used to do was use like these clips here, or these little tiny clips here. But what I found was when you do that, these things put an awful lot of pressure on the model, and what tends to happen is it shifts the lining, and so I was always kind of getting upset, so I started using rubber bands, and then I just wouldn't get a real tight fit. And then I was watching Brett G build his 109, and he had shown these guys, these little C-clamps for models that are made by Excel, same as your hobby blades for the most part, and they work perfectly. They don't put a lot of pressure on there. I mean, you can put some, but they're not all, I mean, they really don't exert that much pressure, but they do hold something in place, which is really nice. So just wanted to give everyone a heads up on that. I got a 6-pack or 2 3-pack. I got a 3-pack. I think I bought 2 3-packs on Amazon for $9 maybe, if that. So if you're building aircraft or you're building tanks or you're building anything that really just kind of needs a nice hold and doesn't exert too much pressure, these things are pretty good. So I'm just kind of messing around with it right now, but and again, they are not they're not this. So if you need a tight fit, like if I would want to put a tight fit right here, then this is not what you want. This is more of a gentle touch. So anyways, we'll get back into the time lapse. We've got our fuselage sealed up, and we've got a cockpit in, obviously. Took the autofocus off so you guys didn't get the whole crazy focusing. So we got all that in. We are going to put a pilot in here, so that is why you don't see seat belts. And just wanted to point out a few things. Now there is a air intake up at the front, and 2 separate pieces, 3 separate pieces technically. And then this comes together. This little holder piece will come out like on this side, and then there's a bottom chin part, and you can see that this bottom chin part is gonna need some work. So we've been trying to sand it down and do everything we can. That's about as good as we're gonna get right there, and we're gonna have to put in some filler. So we're probably gonna put in what everyone calls sprue glue, but I actually use Mr. Dissolve Putty. So we're gonna probably put that in there. It does shrink a little bit, so we'll put a couple things in, but we probably have to sand it down too a little bit. We're gonna try and keep manipulating it a little bit. Of course, we're gonna have to do all of our seam lines, do a little filling as well, and this part is gonna need some work. And I can already tell when I was having to sand down our flaps here for our gun flaps, I can get it in, right, and it fits pretty decently, but it's just one little corner, and we're gonna have to raise this up a bit just so that it's gonna fit in here, because you can see the back corner. And not real, I don't know about the whole, I wish these weren't separate pieces, let me put it that way. So we got some work to do on that, and we're gonna get it all right and corrected, and then we'll kind of move on from there and put on the wing roots and some other things. So here we go. Alright, so I stopped recording because I had a few choice words as this was going on, but in the end we were able to get our barrels in there. They stick out a little bit further than I wanted to, than especially the originals. So scale accuracy is off a bit, but honestly that's okay, not a big deal. So we're gonna get these glued in here now. Alright everyone, so we got the wing root joints in, as you kind of saw. My point of view right now, the left one, which should also be the right, was a little bit tricky. In fact, we're still keeping an eye on it. It's got a pinhole missing out of it. That's not really a big deal. You won't notice that. It had trouble sticking with the glue, and it looks to be like it might not line up well. So we're gonna, it's okay, we can play around with that. I kept it a little bit wider this way, but the other one went on really nice. I was really surprised, and we lost one of our gun barrels already, so it's always a plus. Kind of expected that to happen. So we'll try and find that and get that back in, and move on from there. Alright, I forgot to mention the that we're going to attempt to do a few things. One, we got to paint our inner wheels, our landing, and we got that all primed. We got our injector pin marks removed. This is, Ben mentioned that they did a really good job of making this look like fabric in here, which it would have been. A lot of times it was taken out in the field though, but I don't know how I want to go about making this now. It's supposed to be almost like a gray type, but I think that's just a little boring for me. And what I want to do, I think I want to do a grayish brownish canvasy color. So I'm gonna take a look and see what I got for that. And then also what we're gonna be doing is putting gun barrels in the wings as well. So we're probably gonna put a little bit of styrene in here to hold it and support it, because we're gonna put the metal barrels in just like with the front, and just like a little styrene strip. And I want to make sure I've got clearance for that. But there were inner gun barrels. They were flush with the wing, and I think it'll look a lot nicer if we can get gun barrels in. Let's see if I can't get you guys some pictures here real quick. But that's the E version, that's the 50 calibers. They stick out a bit. And the B version had protruding ones as well, as you can see here in this picture. And we're gonna try and get that in there. So we're gonna do some painting, we're gonna do some styrene stripping, and come back. Alright, we are fresh out of the paint booth. What I did was I mixed a little bit of yellow brown, which is 71-246 for Vallejo Air. Maybe not. There we go. And then we mixed some neutral gray, which is 71.051. And we got this smoky-ish mocha color, which I actually like. It looks like a light canvas, which is fine because what's going to happen... I got paint. Is we're going to put a clear on there. We're going to do a brown wash. And then I think we'll put a little bit of pigment in there, and pigment center, like a dust, landing gear dust in there. And that should darken that up a little bit. We did it on the bottom of the rear landing as well. The inside flaps, I might have to do those interior green. And so I might have to mask that off and do that. Not a big deal, but we'll take care of that. And I got my glove on, which has a hole in it because I have been reusing my gloves religiously, considering that, I used to get a box of 100 of them on Amazon for $9.99, and now they're going for like $50. So I've just been using them to as much as I can. Anyways, I'm gonna stop it right here. We're gonna come back and see if we can't get some styrene in here. Alright everyone, I think that's where we're going to stop it for now. We're going to get these wing joints sealed up, or the wings sealed up, and then we'll just come back for the next episode. So until next time everyone, go check out Ben's channel, see what he's doing. Awesome work as always from him, and we'll get another episode up here soon, and we're moving right along, having a lot of fun on this build. And until next time, take care.
Yeah,